We're live. I'm live. Somebody's alive. My weekly check, which you would think 52 episodes, I'd have this available by now. But nope, we don't. I am live. Welcome back. Just going to post the link to this. Here. Oh, there's I love my beautiful face that shows up. Well, welcome back to another Sugoi Boyz. It might be a solo show tonight from what I can tell. But we'll make do. I got a couple things that I could certainly talk about and a good idea for a topic from J-Chip, who I'm sure is going to show up in the chat but couldn't be here in person tonight. So, hey, Sweet Pea, you're always here first. The OG fan, I gotta say, always the first comment, and you don't even have to remind yourself by saying first. I like that. So, a couple things to talk about. Generally, the title. I had nothing all week to really that I really wanted to discuss. I didn't even catch up on the anime I was watching for a while. Really busy time for me right now. And it's clear it's shown up with the channel. I haven't made an actual video in a month. It's just been live streams and stuff like that. And I keep teasing people with these new cool ideas and then not delivering, but I apologize for that. To the people that do support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. There will be content coming, I promise. It's fucking early Game of Thrones dragons, dude. They're coming. Hey, Osiris. But, so I didn't have any topics for this week, and then J-Chip had an interesting idea in our Discord that stuff anime that surprised you. And basically it was something that you didn't have high expectations for going into, but then walked away enjoying the experience. And so I kind of added to that, and maybe there are shows that were the opposite way, but certainly I think more often than not, it is what J-Chip was talking about, where the show impresses you more than you think it thought it would have. Hey, Light, what's up, man? So you finally realize Yamada's first time is surprisingly good. No, Yamada's first time was exactly how I thought it would be. It's a Harry Lolly anime for sure. But it wasn't, how do I put this? It wasn't my cup of tea, as it were. But maybe you like Yamada's first time, Light. Maybe I know you got you probably got a Yamada's first time poster above your bed, just hanging there. So when Light wakes up in the morning, he just sees Yamada. But as always, let's talk about what I've been watching lately. And reading lately actually is something that I can add to this. So Vinland Saga been keeping. First of all, back this up a little bit. Obviously, knocked out season 1 of Demon Slayer. I believe I talked about that the last time you saw me on camera. And apparently they're going to be doing some follow-up movie, which is going to cover the next arc in that anime. I have sort of mixed feelings with Kimetsu no Yaiba at the moment. And yes, I bounce around from saying Demon Slayer to Kimetsu no Yaiba. I don't know why. It should just be way easier to say Demon Slayer, but for whatever reason, I fucking sometimes just say Kimetsu no Yaiba, so forgive me. So with Demon Slayer, I have mixed feelings. I have, season 1 was cool, but I certainly think that it's overhyped, but then again, it is a shonen series, a modern shonen series at that. And any modern shonen series that, has at least some budget behind it, I feel is going to be pushed heavily. Look at Black Clover. Look at Naruto might be a cheap example to say, but look at My Hero Academia. These shows that don't necessarily in some people's opinion, stand out in a crowd or anything. Don't really break a mold. Don't necessarily do something special in every episode. Maybe they do a couple times throughout the season, as I'm sure that My Hero Academia fans will tell me at some point. I actually do plan on catching up with that show. But so Demon Slayer, I think, falls into that, where it's just this sort of stereotypical shonen kind of thing with like a tragic, sad backstory and a kid that just believes in uplifting himself and those around him and always fights for good. And it's got some cool action sequences. This is made by UFO Table. These are pretty good animators over there. The amount of posters right next to my MHA and the regular Magic High School posters, that is the ultimate, that's the unholy trinity. That's they better all be upside down. Those are three, for Light Lelouch, those are three unholy anime right there. But what was I saying? So, with Demon Slayer, I watched all of season 1. I was pretty hyped. It's getting a dub now, by the way. It's going to be on Toonami if anybody really gives a shit about that. I don't know. I never really watch cable anymore, so I don't really give a fuck. Maybe I'll catch a couple episodes here or there. From what I heard of the dub, it sounds a little weird, but I think they're using a lot of new actors, it sounded like. Could be wrong. But if they are, that's cool. Maybe I'm getting so old to the point where dub actors that I was listening to maybe are fading out and you have new ones. I don't know. I haven't really, because I don't watch Toonami. And I don't necessarily always watch new shows. And if I watch the new show, I'm usually watching it in its sub. Not that I hate on dubs. We've talked about this several times here, but more often than not, I'm watching the sub nowadays. So for the trailers that I had seen for the dub of Demon Slayer, I didn't really recognize the voices. So kind of good. Don't know how their performances are going to be. I probably won't even watch it dubbed. I don't know. It's definitely not a series that I think I would buy, have on my shelf. That's another thing I haven't done forever. It's been months and months and months since I bought anything. I don't think I bought anything since my last convention, since Anime Boston, which was late March, early April. So 6 months. I just have a stockpile of stuff that I haven't even watched and read everything that I got there. But I will get to that. And so with Demon Slayer, not going to watch the dub. I don't think I am. Season 1 ends on an okay note. Season 1 ends where one sort of mini arc is done. We've established a whole bunch of new characters. We've dug into the world a little bit more. The power level of everybody has sort of increased. Where's Greg Ayres when you need him? I don't know. He's I don't hear him. Well, again, I don't really pay attention to dubs, but I feel like he's not doing as much stuff as he used to. I have no idea. I do know, and I've heard this from the convention. I hear this at the last. I have heard this at the last 2 conventions that I've been to. Is that he has a brother that's in the industry as well. I don't know if he's an actor or an ADR director or something. I don't remember, but it's Greg Ayres' brother. I don't remember his first name. He has a lot of health issues, or has had them in the last couple of years. So I'm certain that Greg probably stepped back in a lot of his, a lot of his work and stuff like that, which is perfectly understandable. I know a lot of people hate on Greg Ayres because they don't like his voice. I think it's okay. I kind of like him. He's Chrono and Chrono Crusade, a show that I love. Well, I like the manga more, but I like his voice. I think, he kind of does the same voice every time, but that's okay because it's a good voice. I like it. He's good. A Dead Man Wonderland. He's a good Ganta. Certainly, I hope whatever's going on with his family stuff is okay. It's obviously I don't talk to the dude all the time, but he goes to Anime Boston every single year. So, and he does amazing panels. Really, really nice dude. Got autographs from him. Genuinely cares about anime. Chris Ayres, thank you, Sweet Pea. Genuinely cares about anime and looks into the material that he's taking part in. He read I talked with him about the Chrono Crusade manga when I first met him, and he read the whole thing. It's very short, but I thought it was cool. He took the time to read the whole thing to sort of know the characters, and because he knew that for the -7 people out there that know what Chrono Crusade is, it's this like really not that great Gonzo anime from a long time ago. But has it's from an 8-volume manga, and the anime and the manga have different endings, slightly. Just different things are handled a little differently from one another. Both are notoriously kind of somber. One is far more somber than the other, but both pretty good endings. And yeah, me and him got to talk about that. That was really cool. I got to talk about the voice actor and the endings of this manga and anime that I enjoy. But yeah, it would be cool if he could have been who the fuck is the kid what is the kid's name? Oh my god, I don't remember the kid's name. Maybe Sweet People will know, because or Sweet People, they'll answer anything that I'm saying, because I don't know. I didn't know Chris Ayres' name. What? Oh my god, Tanjiro. Jesus Christ. Do I even know anime anymore? What is my life? Tanjiro could be voiced by Greg Ayres. That would be cool. You don't mind him? Like, nice. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he gets a lot of negative. I think it's easy for like people in the voice acting industry to become like punching bags. I don't know. And then you're gonna get people that hate dubs, so you're never gonna make them happy. You're never gonna make everybody happy. But Tanjiro could have been voiced by Greg Ayres. I don't know who's acting him, who's playing him in the English version. I'm sure it might be okay. I'm sure it'll be popular. You know, it already is really popular. It blows up on Twitter with like its action scenes and stuff like that, especially back on episode 19, I believe it was. It was actually trending, which is really cool. But you know, it's for me, it's that, you know, it's the crazy shonen firework flash flare factor. That's why it's popular. I don't think it's necessarily popular because it's that great of a series. I think it's popular just because it sort of feeds like a niche that people like want to see. When there isn't like a My Hero Academia airing or something. But I get it. In anime, there's a lot of people that just like shonen stuff. You know, I have friends that pretty much just watch shonen stuff. So if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Hey, Sammy. Inosuke dubbed is gross. Yeah, that probably would sound weird. I actually, you know what? I would not. How is the Lightning Boy? How is his English actor? Because I hate hearing that kid scream, almost as bad as the Black Clover one. But the Lightning Kid is annoying when he screams and stuff. I don't want to even hear that in English. I don't want to hear that again. But the reason I'm sort of conflicted with Demon Slayer is that I'm worried about how they're going to handle it, and I'm almost considering just jumping to the manga, which isn't something that I've really done in a long time with a series, and only a handful of times ever. I think the last time was with Noragami, and unfortunately I haven't kept up with that manga. I'm still like 3 or 4 volumes behind. But, you know, the Noragami anime, you know, ended after 2 seasons. Haven't heard anything about a season 3 of Noragami, so I just jumped into the manga. And it was a really good experience. So I'm assuming that might be similar with Demon Slayer, because I am kind of worried about the... Dread is on his way, by the way. I don't know if you can hear my Discord notifications. That'd be hilarious. There he is. Let me add him in here. There's our boy. One of our boys. With a Z. Whose mic might not be connected yet. I don't think it is. We're getting there. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I know you can't because I was muted.
Okay, there we go. All right. I was trying to get that was attention. Oh, I can hear your fan in the back or whatever that is.
There. My thing was weird.
Okay. Do you have a fan in? Do you have a fan on in the back or something?
No, it's probably because my mic is close to my laptop fan.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Hey, well, welcome, Dread.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know. So I was talking a little bit about Demon Slayer and about I'm a little worried about how my personal future with the series. I think I might just jump to manga, which is not something that I've done in a long time. I think the last time I did it was with Noragami, and that was a good experience. When I did it with Dead Man Wonderland, that was a good experience. So it's kind of 2 for 2 there. Because the next thing that they're going to do is a film that covers an arc, I guess. But who knows how long that's going to be.
I heard about that.
I kind of don't want to wait. I mean, it's not like the most groundbreaking series on the planet, but at the same time, I kind of want to know what's happening. But, I don't know how well the anime so far. If anybody in chat has actually has watched the show and read the manga, please let me know how did it cover the anime cover the manga well, or did it change anything drastically? Because honestly, I kind of want to cheat and just jump in right where the anime ended. But if there are vast differences, I also want to know that, because that's something that always bothers me with doing something like that.
Oh, jumping in.
Yeah, because something like Tokyo Ghoul. Every Tokyo Ghoul manga reader will tell you they did this so much different in the manga. They ruined this in the anime.
I mean, that's kind of true.
Yeah. Well, all right. I didn't keep up with Tokyo Ghoul in either sense. So when stuff like that happens, it's always just well, if I'm going to go into the manga, do I have to do I have to restart this to see what happened or what? I'm still waiting on season 3 of Noragami. Me too late. I don't think my instincts tell me it's not going to happen. I mean, it was fairly popular, but I feel like we would have seen it by now, because even with Noragami Arigoto, I have to think back. I believe that only covers 6 or 7 volumes, and they're on volume 21 or 22 now, I believe. So, because I read 18. I haven't read any since 18.
I haven't read any of Noragami.
You should. I recommend it. It's pretty good.
I mean, I've watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay. And I could put this out there. The manga covers it pretty well. You could probably just, from what I recall, just jump in at just look up whatever chapter is near. The only difference
I'd probably reread it from the beginning because I don't remember it very well.
That'd probably be good. The only thing I would say to it, sort of encourage that action, is that the character Yato, obviously it's the same character, but it's handled. He's a little snarkier in the manga, whereas he's still kind of comic relief at times, like he is in the anime, but he's a lot. Bless you. He's a lot. I feel he's a lot sillier in the anime. Not to say he isn't silly in the manga, but he's just more like a downerd god, if that makes any sense, in the manga, which was interesting. And it's just little things about his personality, but it's still the same story. But I'm curious, have you ever generally, do you have good experiences in jumping from an anime to a manga? What would you do? You always go and start from the beginning, or? I
didn't with Berserk. I just jumped straight into where Berserk left off in the anime.
Okay.
Tokyo Ghoul, I tried that. I had to start over with Tokyo Ghoul. Attack on Titan, I just picked up from where the anime left off too.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it was just, I think the only times I've ever really tried that were Dead Man Wonderland, because the Dead Man Wonderland anime just doesn't end. It just
kind of
stops. and there's way more in the manga. That was, a pleasant experience. I'm trying to think with Tokyo Ghoul. I know I read the first 4 volumes, but I don't remember. It had to have been after I watched the anime. It had to have been. But it wasn't as evident to me that they had changed a bunch of stuff at that point. And then I really stopped caring. I think when I had started reading volume 3, and then they did Route A, the anime, and I was like, all right, this is
too much.
I'm starting to be done with this. Hey, Gabriel, what's up, man? Good to see you. I never thought that awful Diabolic Lovers anime would get another season, but it did. Japan is full of surprises. I have only heard bad things about it.
I've never watched it, but the only things I've heard about it are that the main character's just in this awfully abusive relationship with all of the characters, and she's still chasing after them.
Oh my god.
Even though they're all horrible people.
Isn't that like a Vampire Boy show? Do I have that wrong?
I don't know if it is.
I know it's like a pretty boy. I know they're pretty boys.
Oh no, it's definitely a pretty boy show.
And I've only heard negative things. So I don't think I will ever check that out, unless of course somebody joins the Patreon, which by the way you can.
It might be it might be your next beautiful disaster piece.
Oh, dude, beautiful disaster. That should be like a recurring thing. All right, so Kimetsu no Yaiba. I might just jump into manga. I might be doing that. Who knows? Dr. Stone, I believe I'm caught up. I watched episode 15 today. I don't know if that was the newest one or if
so you saw the end of the tournament and then where it ends with Senku.
Rudy gets her medicine.
And where it ends with Senku, your last name is Ishigami.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I still love I'm liking him more and more, the magician guy. The Gen, is that his name?
Yeah.
I like him a lot. And I think it's just, I like his, first of all, I like his character design. And then I also I love his, attitude, his, wavering attitude over being helpful and then darting away.
What about his cola?
When in reality, and he just wants to do, I just want to do. Fuck, where did I put it? I have Diet Dew. God damn it, I didn't bring it to the desk. Somewhere in here, I love me some soda. Too much, in fact. So, I could agree with, I could side with him on that. But yeah, Dr. Stone's been good. Characters are likable. The little tournament thing was funny.
What do you think of the new opening?
It's beautiful to look at times. A couple of the things look really cool, like when it has the equations sliding across the desk.
I like the first one more.
I love the song in the first one, but I thought it was kind of lame up until it hits the I don't know, crescendo, whatever the fuck the term would be.
I only like the second opening because I see all the foreshadowing in it, because I already know the plot points.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I know what that is. That's really cool. But everybody that I'm watching it with is like, oh, yeah, that's an opening.
Hey, Lord Kobe. I would pay my asthma to watch Wounded Man and know my suffering. Oh, man. I feel like every week you're throwing the Wounded Man at me, so someday I'm going to have to actually check it out. How long is it? And is it easily findable on, my DVD shelf, aka streaming websites? So I don't know. With the second, I guess overall I'd say I like the first opening more. The second one, I'm not big on the song, but we'll give that time because songs tend to grow on me.
Yeah.
The fucking Mom Isekai song grew on me, by the way.
It didn't grow on me.
Did you ever try to listen to the full version?
No.
Okay, there is a full version that's not that bad, but I don't know. I think I like the first opening better. There are parts of the second opening which look fucking really good. Um, uh, like I said, this part with the equations that are going across the desk and stuff, and but you know, it was good. It's Doctor Stone is what it is. It's a good show. I like the characters. It's funny at times. It's a little bit. Sometimes I feel like not. I feel like threats almost like. How do I put this? I feel like Senku's like bravado and just sheer intelligence just make like threats like not like very toothless. I never feel like it's like a very big like during the tournament. I was like, all right, well, they're just gonna eventually they're gonna work some way around this magma guy. So like I was like, all right, well, you know, this is what's gonna happen because I was like, watch something's gonna happen negatively, and then Senku's gonna sit back there and he's gonna go, we can do this and we can do that if we do this, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna sit back with his eyes closed, smile, like. And then I'm like, all right, that's what's going to happen. It was cool what they did with like the glass thing, the fire. But you know, it was kind of cool. I mean, you know, now Ruri has a husbando. So now all the shippers of Ruri X Senku can jerk off forever.
It doesn't matter because he said he's getting divorced.
Yeah, I mean, hey. A lot of people said they were getting divorced, and maybe it doesn't work out that way. Maybe they have a on again, off again relationship. No, I mean I'm a Senku X Kohaku guy. So
you're not a Senku X Taiju guy.
Taiju isn't that Taiju's the his friend, right?
The big oaf.
The guy? No, fuck that. No, dude. Well, first because I fucking love Taiju with she has a fucking long name. The girl he's in love with that he
Yuzuriha?
Yeah, Yuzuriha. I can't wait to see them again. But yeah, Dr. Stone is Dr. Stone. I'm enjoying it. I'll keep going on it. The other one, Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is also still Vinland Saga, and it's getting to one of my, at least from what I've read, it's at like one of my favorite points in the manga, just in terms of like some character backstory and stuff like that. We've gotten to like the part where they're in Wales, which is actually really important. Yeah, it's still really good. That show also changed its opening because it hit episode 13. I
haven't heard the second opening yet.
Holy shit, did they drop the ball? It's Man on a Mission, but I am not. I mean, when they did the Inuyashiki OP, that was cool. There's some other OP they did that I like that I can't remember. But I'm sure they're a cool band. Sure, a bunch of cool guys. I don't like this fucking OP for Vinland Saga. I don't know. To me, it just seems weird. A lot of people didn't like OP1. I did. But you know, maybe that's just my shitty opinion, but I don't know if that many people are going to like this second OP. This is a certain skip. I don't even think this is the one that's going to grow on me. But we're getting to a cool part in the manga. Curious to see where exactly they're going to leave off once this, because I'm assuming it's just going to be like 24 or 26 for now. Curious to see where they'll stop that, but it's still cool. Got some action stuff in there, and then like I said, we're getting into backstory. So I got to get back onto the manga for that because now it's starting to almost catch up to me. Almost, sort of. I mean, now I'm only like 2 volumes ahead or 3 volumes ahead instead of where I was before. Now, and I'm losing my superiority here with the Vinland Saga anime onlys.
Oh wow. That's just how it be sometimes.
Vinland Saga first OP song is awesome. Thank you, Light. Yeah, I really like that song. A lot of people have shat on it, but I don't know. I'll listen to it at the gym. It's pretty good. But yeah, that's. The other thing but I'll mention that when we talk a little bit more. I read something else today. Actually, I read a volume 1 of a manga, and I'll talk about that when we get into more surprising stuff. But Dred, what have you watched or read recently?
What have I been watching?
Sure. Dr. Rostonu?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy with the way that the anime is going?
I like the way it's going, yeah. I started rewatching Rakugo Shinju, too.
I've never tried to watch that, and everyone says, "What are you doing? Go watch it." Everybody just tells me that.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really that good? Like, is it good enough to like bump other things off of a plan to watch list, or is it just something that I should just?
Yeah, I think it is.
Really? Okay.
But it depends on what's on your plan to watch.
True, that rotates, but yeah, that's what, like 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's like 20-something episodes.
Okay, maybe I will check that out. I mean, I know someday I will, because it's just such a fucking praised fucking thing, and everybody talks about it. Like everybody I've ever talked to do that is like with a YouTube or anime, maybe besides J Chip from the J Chip Show, has said like, "Hey, Rakugo's pretty good, man. Check that out." But all right. So Dr. Stone, you're still watching. Was that it? Is that it for now?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I've just been basically trying to get back into reading Naruto.
Okay. How far were you into that?
Like chapter 420-ish.
Oh, I mean, that's a good dent.
Yeah.
Warp 8 would read that in like an hour. Dude,
I know Justin's been reading One Piece.
Oh, One Piece. Good luck with him. I wonder if he's trying to catch up.
I have a feeling he is.
Oh my god. That's why we never see him.
Yeah.
Just watched Yoma Blood Rain. It's such a great ninja anime. Huh. I don't know if I've heard of that, Kobe. Haven't seen Rakugo Shinju, not a high priority. Currently busy with 90s Hunter. Okay, so the original Hunter x Hunter, which I'm liking a lot, and Soul Eater, which I'm not currently a fan of. I see the word "currently" in there. This is a layered comment. Light. First of all, I also haven't seen Rakugo.
It's okay. He's not going to drop it anyway.
Exactly. So you're watching 90s Hunter x Hunter, which I don't know a lot of people that have actually watched that. So I'm curious to see how it is for you. You're looking at a lot currently. Soul Eater, you say I'm not currently a fan of. Now, does that imply, were you a fan of it? Is this like a rewatch, and you're not liking it now? Or is this your first time watching Soul Eater? Because the first time I watched Soul Eater, I thought it was the fucking shit. And I fucking binged the shit out of that. I knew nothing about the manga. Nothing. It got really fucking kind of dumb, like at the end. And now looking back, knowing what I know from manga readers, I can see where it just like it hits like a weird gas pedal and says, "We got to end the show right here," which felt odd to me. We have this enormous. My biggest problem with that is we have this enormous build up to the Kishin, and then where you get to our supposed climax with the Kishin, and it's not that impressive to me. I don't know. It's all right. He doesn't do anything like very villainy enough for me. I hate to sound biased, but he's no Naraku. But they make this Kishin out to be fucking insane. Hey, J-Chip. And I don't know. I thought it was kind of letdown. They beat him with like the power of friendship and then the fucking Kishin Hunter move, which they made up in like 2 seconds. But I don't know. Overall, I still like Soul Eater. So Rob the Jotaku is here. Hey, man. The dead one who creeps out every century. Oh, man. It's good to see you, Rob. It's been a long time. And J-Chip from the J-Chip Show. J-Chip, why don't you tell us in chat have you only been reading One Piece? Because I have a theory now that you were just in a One Piece. I feel like,
other than the first episode of Food Wars Season 4, there was that too, that I watched with him. That's probably all he's been doing.
Just reading One Piece.
No, he's watching some terrible show, he said, too.
Oh. All right. Well, while J-Chip tells us that, let's get into some stuff that surprised us. I have a couple examples of this, and the first one that I'll talk about, this sort of ties into what I've been doing lately. One thing is trying to tackle stuff on my manga shelf because, I hate the day where I see like a fucking cobweb like starting to form on something that I haven't even fucking read yet. And I'm like, wow, I spent money on that months ago. Remember when I handed the guy my debit card at the convention and said, hey, I want to buy this because I'm going to read it, and I haven't read it? Yeah. It's a harsh reminder. Started reading One Piece Shield Hero, and I finished Lord Marksman and the Vanadis. What the fuck?
I've heard that name.
Lord Marksman and the Vanadis. That sounds like a 1700s English novel. 90s Hunter x Hunter I'm liking a lot more in my second time around. Soul Eater I'm just liking a bit more this time around. Still waiting until I get new material for both of them. Okay. But something that surprised me, and I'm going to see how far this goes into Volume 2, and I think I might do a video just about this manga, but I'm not sure. Inside Mari.
What was that?
Inside Mari. So
Okay.
This is a volume. Jesus
Is that like Inside Out?
Sure. I haven't seen Inside Out. So this is a manga by this. The real reason that I bought this is because it's by Shuzo Oshimi, who is pretty much, I would say, my favorite manga author, primarily because I really love Flowers of Evil. He also wrote Happiness, which is another thing that I am reading that I'm really enjoying. I don't think it's as good as Flowers of Evil, but love the guy's art style, and I kind of love like the creepy factor of a lot of his stuff. I think he's certainly a weird dude, probably in real life. But this... I mean, I was a little worried because, you look at this cover here and it's flat out, it's a body swap story. So
Okay.
it's even if you read the little description on the back, and literally page 1, he literally wakes up in this girl's body. And this goes like I'll say this volume 1 goes by very, very fast. Not like a lot unexpected really happens, but it seemed like I was done reading volume 1 pretty quickly. It flows very well. I don't know if that's attributed to it's kind of a cliche sort of idea, which was worried about going in. But it's his same sort of art style. Something I really like. I really like how he draws people, like their facial expressions and their hair and everything. And but basically, it's this dude. The first chapter, he literally just wakes up in this girl's, but he has like shitty vision. He needs glasses, and the first thing he's surprised about when he wakes up in the morning, and he's like, oh, I gotta grab my glasses. He's kind of groggy, and he's like, hold on, I can see. It's like, what the hell happened? So, and then of course he stereotypically finds out that he has tits now, and he's like, holy shit, what the fuck? Goes over to a mirror, sees that he is inside of a girl's body. And he refers to the girl as the angel from the convenience store.
And I take it her name is Mari.
He didn't know that yet, but yes. So and then it proceeds. So that's like the very first section, and then it proceeds to talk about how he refers to her as the angel because it talks about him. He's like this guy who he's in college. He's in his 3rd year. He's from the author Shuzo Oshimi, by the way, is very implemented, I think, into this character because I know he's from a region of Japan called I want to get this right. I think it's Gunba, like a very countryside thing, and this is very typical of his stories. This is how Flowers of Evil, right, is set in the original the first town that it's in is in kind of the sticks. That's where Shuzo Oshimi grew up. So that's where he has a lot of his stories take place in the countryside, very often with characters going to other places, experiencing different things, and comparing that to the life that they once had in the countryside. In this case, Isao is from the countryside, has, doesn't, in the countryside, didn't really fit in with people, thought that I had this similar feeling, thought that when I went to college in a city, and, naive, 18, 19-year-old miasma and 19, 18-year-old Isao both thought that going to college just equaled, hey, cool, we're going to have an easy time making friends and talking to girls and stuff, right? Well, turns out it's not necessarily that easy for everybody. So he, it's not coming easy to him right away. He finds himself in sort of the same outside social circle situation that he was in high school. And he just focuses on his studies and stuff like that for like a year and a half. But weirdly, and I kind of don't like how this is described in Volume 1, he just has one day where he literally just doesn't feel like doing it anymore. And it's very like, that's how he describes it. I wish maybe I could find it. But there's one, he says like, and one day it just wasn't, it's just literally like a snap, like in the same like panel, or like the previous panel has him like writing shit down with like a pen. He's like, I was studious for blah 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 time, and then I wasn't.
Okay.
But shit. But there might be something they're alluding to, because he says he felt like heavier that day or something along those lines. So there was some kind of shift with him, and I don't know if that's leading toward what happens later in his life. But now he's in his like third year. His parents are still thinking it's kind of like an NHK situation where like his parents are thinking that he's being responsible and he isn't, which I don't know how they haven't
caught on.
But they're giving him money. He lives in this apartment, which is a fucking pigsty, and he just spends his days playing this like MMO, or his game, and jerking off. Literally jerking off. Literally, he actually says that. And then he gets his food from the convenience store. Whatever. He noticed one night, a year ago, he noticed this really pretty young girl going to the convenience store at the same time as him. And he fucking... it happened. Then it happened like one more time, and so it came to realize he schedules this like around his game. Like he has an alarm on his phone where he's like, okay, at blah.
So he schedules his convenience store stops.
Yes, and so does she. Apparently, she's always there at 9:00, and he's like
exactly,
yes.
Like not 9:01, not 8:59.
I don't. He just says 9, maybe around 9. But she always gets the same thing. She always gets a chocolate bar and a drink, and then she leaves by herself. So he knows that, by the way. And then he, by the way, I said I saw some of myself in this character, not everything. All right. Then he also, because here's where we get it. The last couple times he walks in her direction. Like when she leaves the convenience store, he doesn't live in the same direction, but he'll go that way and he'll follow her for a bit. Weird enough, he never talked to her. He's never even heard her voice. He's like, I wonder what her voice actually sounds like.
Oh my god!
And she's also like he presumes her to be like a senior in high school.
What is she?
She's like a senior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has to go in her body. So, and then this one night he goes to follow her. She stops. He thinks that she's like noticed him. She starts to turn. That's the last thing he remembers right before he wakes up in her body. And that's the last thing we know. And then he's in her body, and it's very reminiscent of Your Name, where he's like, oh, this is weird to have tits. He doesn't look at them. He doesn't look at her naked or anything. In fact, there's a whole scene about that where he has to he's playing it for the family as if he goes on a normal school day, so he has to get dressed. So he has to try and put on a bra for the first time and everything. And then he goes to breakfast. He goes to sit down and breakfast with the family. And he obviously I didn't really think about this, but he goes sorry, it's weird to ask this, but where's the bathroom again?
Oh my god.
But so he's Mari, they just think he's kind of weird. Then he goes to school, and it's the same sort of, this girl clearly has friends. Oh, he knows what school to go to, by the way, because she has like an ID thing that explains who she is and stuff like that. And so he knows her name and everything. Goes to school, has to, obviously there's awkward situations with the friends because they're mentioning stuff that obviously he has no idea about. He's like awkwardly asking them, he's like, do I have a boyfriend?
That's funny.
So they're like, no. There's one girl that seems on to him at first, or she just seems that something's weird, but she's not really in that group of friends. She's sort of like this is reminiscent of Flowers of Evil. This girl with glasses that's outside from the group that seems to have a different mentality or attitude about things than everybody else. So very reminiscent of Flowers of Evil. So yeah, and then there's a lot of like just those dumb sort of antics and him trying to, he goes to like take a piss for the first time and it's weird because he's, pissing as a girl. And of course there's no nudity, but like it animates him just sitting on the toilet, going to the bathroom, and he's like, oh, this is weird. And then he's trying to like investigate sort of what the fuck's going on. He's like, well, where's the real Mari? And if I'm inside Mari, is Mari inside of me? So he deals with the school day, as awkwardly as it was. Then he fucking goes and is like, he's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to my apartment because I don't go anywhere else. I'm just gonna go to my apartment. I'm probably there. Goes to the apartment. He's not there. All right. Well, maybe I guess I'm at the convenience store. I don't know. So then he goes to the convenience store. He sees himself, and he's like, okay, well that must be Mari. We must have swapped bodies somehow. And goes up to. I'll leave it at this because I don't want to spoil the entire first volume. But goes up to what he perceives as Isao himself, and tries to explain the situation. And it's not Mari that is inside Isao's body. And there's a little more, but this was something that I thought I was worried going into with it being sort of cliche. And at times it is cliche because it's just, it's been a million body swap sort of things.
Right.
But I was interested because it's Shuzo Ushimi, and I've said this time and time again, nobody does what's the word I wanted? Awkwardness like
the
him.
Same way he does.
Uncomfortability. Like he thinks about like the grimiest situations, so like the most like putting on a bra, going to the bathroom. In the vampire manga, it was vampires being able to smell the girl's period. It was Flowers of Evil has fucking some darker shit, but it's just these little things that I think he is, like I said, I think he's fucking weird, but I think he nails the idea of uncomfortable perversion that I think individuals, not everybody, but I think that there are individuals in this world partake in, and are interested in, and are part of probably for some people reaching adolescence. And I think he plays with adolescence a lot in his works. And this was no different. I mean, I have volume 2 that I haven't opened up yet, but I'll check out volume 2. I don't think, as much as I love his art, I this is not happiness with vampires running around. This is not Flowers of Evil with over the top sort of swearing conversations with like young adults. I don't think Isao is nearly as interesting as the main characters in those other two, at least so far. But I went into it with medium expectations, and I think I'm a little bit surprised.
With decent ones.
Yeah, and I mean, it could be a little biased. I mean, I think maybe if maybe I should check out a video or two if anybody else read some other opinions about this. Is anybody in chat? Have any of you heard of Inside Mari, or it's on your plan to read? Like, okay, you should check it out and let me see. Let me know what you think. The novel Perfect Blue Awakened from a Dream has a similar start. Best part of that novel. Whacking off playing Dragon Quest with the other hand sounds like a typical day for a Japanese college student. Sounds like a party. Oh my god. All right. Um, and let's see. All right. Dred, I guess I'll let you go. I have two anime that I wanted to mention that surprised me in a positive way. I'm sure there could be one that I think of in a negative way, but either
in
way,
a negative way.
either way, whichever way you want to go, just let me know.
Does the mommy Sakai count? Because I thought it would be much worse than it was.
Yeah, that counts. Sure. You thought that was going to be worse? It wasn't even that good.
No, it wasn't that good. I thought it was going to be way worse, though.
Oh my god. All right. It was about what I thought it would be. It's not super kid bad, but it's
no, good. But at least it made me laugh a couple times.
True.
I didn't think it was going to make me laugh at all.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. And then it surprised you in a positive way. Or go ahead, whatever. It could be negative. You can shit on something.
I don't know. I don't really know if I should say that it was a positive or a negative with that one. But I guess in a positive way, on a different note, would be Attack on Titan, because I used to like Owari no Seraph way more than it, because I think the first two seasons of Attack on Titan are kind of meh.
Okay.
But season 3 and the stuff beyond that, I thought is actually really good. To the point where I think Hajime Isayama might be considered like the next one of the next greats.
Okay.
Of creating.
That good, huh? It gets season 3 gets that good.
Season 3 and beyond. I think he spent maybe a little too much time focusing on the early stuff. But I can see why that was all necessary going forward.
Okay. Because I've only seen seasons 1 and 2. And my constant complaint with Attack on Titan is A, it's very brown and boring looking to me. But
that's kind of the point.
Okay, fair enough. And my second complaint is probably also the point. I dislike when things just sort of raise a million questions and answer like one every blue moon, and just give you more questions, which are probably a lot of my questions are probably answered in like future seasons. But like, I don't know. And plus, I don't like Eren very much. Like, I want the Mikasa show. Like, that would just be cool.
Didn't like Eren until where the manga is currently.
Okay.
It took over 100 chapters of content for me to like Eren.
Oh man. All right. Well, one that surprised me in a positive way, I guess. And it was just sort of, I guess it was a superficial judgment at first, just because of how this show was animated. Was Land of the Lustrous.
Oh, let me guess. You thought it was going to be bad because it was complete CG?
I just had a low expectation. Like, I thought that, like, because I am in favor, like, I love Ruby. I'm in favor of CG animation. I think it's something that should be
done more often.
Explored and experimented with, at least. But to hear that the whole show is basically like that, and when I first saw some of the character designs, I was like, okay, I wonder how this is going to, play out. And then, I thought maybe it'll just be like one of these shows where maybe they put it all into the aesthetic and don't give a shit about the story. Which I was incorrect, because both of them are very, very good. They're the show, there's a lot of questions with it still, and I don't even know if there's going to be a season 2 at some point. But it is gorgeous. I I guess if you're not a fan of CG, then you're probably not going to like it at all. But I think it looks very, very good.
I've actually been meaning to watch the show for a while. There's so many other things that I want to get around to.
Yeah. Which is probably the same for a lot of people. It's got a really cool OP. It's got a very interesting main character, and just the premise of all the characters in general just being like essentially these crystal gem creatures, beings, I guess. That they're not, the main characters aren't human. They are these things that they don't have to worry about the same, they're literally made up of the gem that they are. So like they can take like, they can be shattered and broken, like their arm could be like hit like by a huge stone or something, crushed. And if they are able to get material, they could put their arm back together.
Okay.
So, and there's this whole thing with the world is basically, as far as they know, really, the world is just them in like this colony. And then there's this like monk guy that's like in charge that isn't a gem guy, but he's very powerful for some reason. He's very like, and they have consistent invaders from like, I don't remember if it was like the moon or something. Yeah, because they're Lunarians, aren't they? It's been a while, but there's this weird. Just the mystery of it is fucking really cool. Where it's just like this just fucking weird like colony, and then these alien things come down, and there's the question of like what was the like. It's just this way in the future of like Earth. Like what is this? Like what is happening here? The main character is pretty funny, and it looks gorgeous. And I wish I had another season. Here's hoping. But that was a series that I think I judged. I think I judged the book by its cover on that one just a tad. And I'm sure a lot of people, if I did it and I'm not that negative on CG, I guarantee you a ton of people they probably heard the word CG and they went, nah, 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 nah. And they just said, no, don't want to do it. Someone's going to make a gif of me doing that, by the way. All right. So I don't know do you want to rotate it back to you? I don't know if you would have another one. It could be negative.
Well, I actually, because you kind of cut me off with Attack on Titan,
I'm sorry.
I'll move on to my next one after that. But I wanted to ask like what kind of questions you had about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, toward the end of season 2, it answered a little bit as to what Titans were. But then there was like the stuff with like, well, we knew like I know what like at least some of the Titans were, but then there's also like different kinds of Titans that they kept introducing, so that weirded me. And then, first of all, whatever was in the basement,
they get to that.
Where the fuck was his dad?
They get to that.
Then I was like, oh well, why can Eren do this?
They get to that.
Yeah, okay, but by season 3, like I'm already like how many episodes into a show by then, and you're giving me crying boy blonde kid, and you're giving me Eren fuck boy and potato girl. Really? That's what you're gonna have animators working on instead of actual fucking scenes? We're gonna have a whole episode where we talk about the potato girls from this place where they talk like fucking country folk and they're fucking weird and everybody got eaten. But yeah, I don't know. So I guess they do get answered. I just wasn't patient enough. Why? So there's like these. If I remember right, there's like religious people like way deep in the walls. Like, why are there people way deeper in the walls than the other people?
Okay, so a lot of that stuff is touched upon.
Oh, damn it!
They actually do get to that stuff.
Do the Titans fuck?
They don't have reproductive organs.
So, how do we get more?
That's explained.
Oh, man. All right.
As of where the manga is currently, that is all explained.
Okay. All right. Okay. But I can only talk about what I saw.
That's true.
All right. Sorry to cut you off.
So the next one is actually Food Wars.
Ooh.
because I saw the first episode of it a long time ago. I wanted to like see, oh, what is this fucking Shokugeki no Soma about? And I thought the first episode was so absurd. The girl eats Soma's food, her clothes come off, and she starts moaning. And I'm like, okay, this is just dumb. And then Justin goes to watch it, and he gets like 7 episodes through it, and he's like, dude, this show's really good. And I'm like, I dropped it. It was bad. It was the first episode was bad. And he's like, no, give it till episode 6 or episode 7. So I give it till episode 6, 7 when the first match happens. And I'm like, Justin, you were right. It did get good.
Which is not a sentence that we say often on the Sugoi podcast.
I don't know how to take that. I don't know if that was like a jab at him or what.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think we've heard Justin, you were right very often from either of our mouths. Certainly mine. That's just a joke. We love J Chip from the J Chip Show, and I love when he actually appears on camera and showcases the things that he's bought from his infamous pawn shop, which has a fucking portal to another dimension of games and anime. Apparently, some fucking guy is like dropping off like fucking expensive ass shit there because every week he's like, "Yeah, I found a fucking copy of Legend of the Galactic Heroes for like 89 cents."
Yeah, he's got that whole big collector's edition of the original series. 89 cents.
It came with its own model spaceship from the show. Oh my god. New season of High School Girl and Goblin Slayer. There's another season of Goblin Slayer coming. Actually, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that.
Did anybody ask for that?
The internet did.
You're probably right.
I only saw the infamous episode of Goblin Slayer because
I only saw episode 1, yeah.
Because everybody said to watch it, and I had to conform. Also, new Ghost in the Shell series coming 2020.
I saw that.
Interesting. I have not seen. Okay, so Ghost in the Shell, I've only seen like the OG movie, and then standalone complex seasons 1 and 2. That's it. I have not seen Arise. I haven't seen anything else. Blame Nia for getting me into Food Wars. It's Nia's fault. Oh, poor Nia. She isn't even here, dude. She's like super asleep. All right. The other one that I wanted to mention, and I'll stick to positive because I'm such a positive guy, you know, was Anohana.
Anohana, you said?
Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Or Anohana something something Wakiganai something.
Wakiganai.
So with Anohana, it has just reputation behind it of just like cry porn. And, you know, I just didn't... I knew I would probably feel feels, but I didn't think that... I guess I just didn't think it would have everything that like I value in a show. Whereas primarily I'm a character-driven guy. So if a show doesn't have characters, then I'm like, they either have to be so out there that I'm interested in. Like, okay, Dr. Stone is like that one. That's an example of that. The characters are fucking out there and very different from me that, like, they're interesting. Not even their design, but their personality. So Dr. Stone's characters, they check off for me right there. Or it's characters that, like, I relate to, like, a little bit. Like this dude in Inside Mari. Once again, relate to him only a little bit. I have never followed anyone home from a convenience store, I promise. But I was worried that in Anohana, like I just saw from the outside, so my expectation was just I saw this little gray-haired girl and, you know, these other characters of various character designs from the school or from her past and whatever in the series. And I was like, well, is this just going to be another, like, school show, except one of them's dead? And, it kind of is. But, it doesn't really, it's not like within the school most of the time. And, in fact, very little, if at all. And while not all of the characters are equally interesting or likable, in fact, two of them very not likable, in my opinion. One I just wish died in the show instead of Menma. But yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Crossdresser Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool, and I liked how they got into a little bit with Menma's parents, and even a little bit with what is the main guy's dad, Jintan. It's funny because I remember them as what fucking as what Menma Anaru, as what what's her name? Menma fucking kawaii ghost Jesus called
Ghost Jesus.
But yeah, Anohana, I went into it expecting just cry porn with I felt like they were going to make me care about Menma and Menma only. And by the end of it, I liked pretty much everybody besides Fuckboy. And his fucking blue hair bitch, she was okay. But the others I liked a lot, and it is sad. But I think it's an enjoyable ride, and it's on Netflix now. So you don't have to pay $1 bajillion. I mean, you never really had to. You can just watch it wherever you want. But for those of you that didn't want to watch on those sites, check it out on Netflix. It's a pretty good short series, IMO. But yeah, do you have any other ones?
I mean, I'm sure I have a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
But those were really just the ones that stood out to me. Is there anything that I liked at the beginning and then kind of thought it was bad?
I could. Let me see. Let's
progress.
So
Guilty Crown.
Guilty.
Guilty Crown.
You liked it at the beginning?
The first episode wasn't bad, but
take this. Take my cat's cradle and symbolically fuck me.
But as it progressed, it became worse and worse, and it was surprising how bad it got.
But Dread, it's everything that makes me whole.
I mean, I think you can agree. We've talked about this, that a show that looks that good should not be that bad.
Yeah, the staff that worked on it, it was a fucking all-star team. I don't understand what happened. I have no idea. Not an anime, but Ashita no Joe manga was a huge surprise for me. I'm not that much a fan of sports in anime or manga, so the fact that Ashita no Joe is my favorite manga is something I didn't see coming at all. I've heard back when I was more present in the Anime Dojo, Bob Samurai's Facebook group. Believe it or not, there was a time where I was paying attention to that every day. Everybody fucking jerked off to Ashita no Joe.
I remember that.
It was fucking it was always nostalgia day. I remember when I first read Ashita no Joe chapter 1. And I was like, all right, well, I haven't fucking checked anything. And then when fucking Megalobox came out, it was because I believe that's the prequel story, or not
it's
follow-up.
Spiritual successor kind of thing.
That, resurfaced it again. So I've only heard good things about it. Never really checked it out. I just thought of another one, and I hope J-Chip is still here. This is just a show that started off good, then fucking completely ran off the rails, and I thought it was going to be awesome the longer it went. Fucking Shakugan no Shana, dude. We get to fucking seasons 1 and 2 are cool. It's this, interesting tsundere fucking fighting demon spirit things, love story with this dude, and there's this world of spirits and shit that people don't see, but he can see them, and he gets involved. He's a normal human, gets involved with a supernatural girl. It's fucking very Underworld-esque. But then we get to season 3. And I used to want to do a video about season 3, and it's fucking how it pissed me off. But like season 3, all that you really need to know is that it does this weird thing where it takes the main guy character and turns him into a villain.
Okay.
But she's still in love with him. Like, Zhana's still in love with him. Because his logic is that he is going to take in this evil spirit guy and rid the world of these other problems. That way Shauna and them could live this peaceful life.
You lost me.
You lost me too. So he wants to have everything be peaceful by inheriting this evil spirit, which basically possesses him. In the goal of making, in that goal, he's going to take in this thing and do a bunch of evil shit, in air quotes. When in reality, they were fairly comfortable before. He's just kind of tired of seeing like the occasional bad thing happen. But I don't know. It was just fucking a really weird turn for me, and it was something I had high expectations for, and I was just pissed off. He became light. Yeah, I guess, but I hated Light from the beginning. Not Light Lelouch, I love that guy. But Light Yagami, I hated from the beginning.
I think the moment Light Lelouch drops an anime is when you finally hate him.
All right. Well, I think I'll probably call it off there. I want to thank everybody for coming. I don't know if I will be around next week, so I'm not sure if if we'll have a show next week. But if you're watching this in the future,
that depends if Justin's around.
That too. Hopefully, J Chip and the J Chip Show can come back to us, or our Lord and Savior. But in the meantime, he's still putting up some videos. You check out his Squid Girl. He watched the Squid Lolly show. You guys should check that out. Yeah, if you're watching this in the future, let me know down below a show or manga that surprised you. If you've seen anything that we talked about, especially Inside Mari or anything by Shuzo Oshimi, because if I actually
go ahead, shill for Oshimi.
If I fucking if I was consistent in making videos enough, I would do an Oshimi tribute video. But I keep promising things that don't happen, so I can't. I'm not going to say that that's going to happen. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Please check out the links down below in the description to Dread and J Chip's channels.
Have fun.
And as always, have a good rest of the week. All right, see you guys.
And now I go to the bathroom.